Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how you can make your own CS2 skin, because CS2 is obviously right around the corner. So what we want to do is download three things first, before we continue with the actual creation. So the first thing we will need is VTFEdit. So you can come over to this website and hit the installer. Then we want to download Blender to create the actual skin. So what you also want to do is go to blender.org and hit download over here. And then we will need the workshop models for CS2, which is right over here. And you want to go and download this bottom resource. I will have all these links in the description, so that's that. And once we have done this, we can continue with the video. Alright, so here are the three downloads. What we want to do is actually install those. So what we can do is we can come over here, just accept the agreement and hit next. This is all not really interesting information, so we can just do that. Same goes for Blender. We want to go over and install this. So nothing needs to be changed here, just click next and install. So that's installing that, and then over here you can see we have all the weapons. So for this, while Blender is installing, we can just put that on the background over here. There we go. Blender is done. We can just put this over here and we can extract this so that we have it unzipped. So once we have done all this, we can continue. Alright, so now that we have Blender open, what we want to do is actually import the weapon for which we want to make a skin. So in our case, I will be doing it on an AK. So what we want to do is come over to the top left here and click on File. Then we want to import and search the OBJ option, which is right over here. Then we want to go to our desktop, because that's where we have downloaded the resources. And over here we want to find the AK in our case. Obviously you can do something else. So then you want to import this. So that will look like this. Okay, so now that we have imported the AK into Blender, what we want to do is come over to the top left, go over to Image Editor. Over here we want to make a new image, and we can name it whatever we want. So for now I'll just call it AK Skin Texture. Make sure the width and the height are 2048 by 2048, and then hit OK. Now this will make a skin texture. So if we have done that, we can go back to the 3D viewport. Now what we want to do is make sure we have the right materials. So if you come over to the right here and go to material, we want to make sure we have a material. If you don't have one, you can go over here and click on new. This will make a new material, and we want to make sure this use nodes button is blue, so that way we know it's activated. Then what we want to do is go over to the top left and hit texture paint, and then we want to go over to the shader editor. Now in here we want to hit Shift plus A, we want to search for image texture, and we want to select the image texture we just made. In my case it's this one. Now once we go back to the 3D viewport, you will see that this has now been added. Alright, so now that we have imported the image texture onto our AK and it looks like this, we want to come over to the top here and click texture paint, and this will show our AK texture. So make sure it's selected right here. So once this is selected, we can go ahead and paint. But if you have watched my previous videos, you would have known that it would show the actual individual parts over here, which is apparently no longer the case. So what we want to do in order to change that is maybe fill the gun with white, and this way we can see the individual parts of the gun. It's not as good as it used to be, but yeah, we'll have to do with this because I don't really know another solution. So if you now want to paint this weapon with a brush, we can do so. So say we want to actually change this to red. Right here you can see it will change on the gun itself, and it will also change back here on the actual image. So for instance, we can see that this is a bit white, so we want to just change that to red, so the entire texture is red. So that's basically how you paint your gun to actually make a skin. So once we are happy with our skin, I'll just do a little bit of minor details over here so we can actually see it in game when we are going to test it out. We add some beautiful stripes. I don't know, just something quick and easy, you know. You can obviously make your own, make it way better than me probably, because this is actually ugly. But once we are happy with our skin, what we want to go and do is we want to come over to the top left over here. We want to click on image. Then we want to click on save as. And over here, I'll just do it on the desktop. We want to save this and name it whatever we want. In this case, I'll just name it this, which is fine, just the skin texture. And then we want to save it as a image. So once we have done this, we want to open up VTFEdit, like so. We want to come over to the top left and click import. Then we want to come over to where we downloaded it, in my case desktop. We want to hit the PNG and open it. Then over here we can leave this all the same, so just hit OK. Now this will import the image, as you can see right here. And yeah, you can see the entire texture, so don't change anything, just click on save, go over to your desktop and save it right here, and name this the name of your skin. So I'll just call it beauty, because it's obviously beautiful. And then we want to actually launch CSGO. I forgot one step actually before we open up CSGO. We want to convert the VTF to a TGA file. So how we do that is we go back into VTFEdit, right over here. And what we then want to do is go over to our VTF image, which I have just closed. So we just file, import, and we actually do the PNG again and just hit OK. So what we want to do is actually go over to the top left here at file, and then we want to make sure the right VTF file is opened. So once the VTF file is open, what we want to do is we want to come over to the top left, hit export, and you want to go ahead and save this like so. So now that we have the TGA file, we can actually load up CS. So right here, just hit play. Counter-Strike 2 Workshop Tools, make sure you open this, and then hit play. Then in here we want to hit Launch Workshop Item Tools. Alright, so once we have opened up the Workshop editor, we want to come over to the Gunsmith and then the Paint Kit example. Then over here we want to select our weapon that we are going to be testing. You can check this if you want. We're not going to be doing anything with the wear just yet. Then over here at the base texture, we want to come over to this and open the actual folder. So over here, let's just expand this. We want to search the materials folder. So what we want to do is come over to content, CSGO, then materials. Over here we want to make a custom folder, or yeah, I just named it custom, but I think you can name it whatever you want. And over here we want to store our TGA file that we just made. So just drag this from your desktop onto this folder. If you have done that, what you want to do is remember the name. So in my case, I'll just copy it actually. Then over here, we want to go materials, custom, and then the name of our TGA file. Once you have done this, we can actually change this up if you want. You can actually add pearlescent effect to the gun, which is right over here. I'll just max it, see what happens. It's fun, I guess. And you can have all sorts of custom stuff, which will be a later video maybe. Now if you want to inspect this gun in the game, what we can do is hit inspect. As you can see, that will load. It will open up the game right over here. So this is actually quite beautiful. As you can see, it added a pearlescent effect. And as you could have also maybe seen, I changed the patina tint, base metal, and patina wear. So as you can see, that's where the green and the white comes from. Yeah. So that's where you can see that comes from. And if we move it around, you can also see the pearlescent effect working. So that's how you inspect the weapon. And you can actually also preview the weapon without doing anything like we had to do before. with adding it to the game, selecting a skin and changing those values, we can actually simply go over here and hit preview. So this is another amazing feature they have added with this new CS2 update. So what this will do is it will just load into a map, and it will actually just give you the texture like this, so you can easily inspect it in the game. So as you can also see, this adds the pearlescent effect with the new shaders, right, like so. So that's actually quite wonderful. Alright, so say we want to now publish it to the workshop. What we can do is go over here to publish, and quite simply it publishes, right? So we want to come over here to a new submission, and then we want to go over here, name the title something, so AK-47 test skin for YouTube, I don't know, just something random for me. And then as you can see here, we can actually go into the game and hold it like so. And then what we want to do is just Alt Tab, and we can actually make a picture like that. My game is freezing apparently, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So you can click on capture, and you can actually capture what it says right here, like so. Capture, and you can see it just changes the image that's being shown over there. Then over here you can see that it will actually upload some files. And over here, weapon tags, visibility, we can change all that, and we can hit submit. Alright, so then you can see that it has been submitted to the workshop. So as you can see, this is the preview image. Over here we can actually see legal agreement, whatever, but you can see that we have made a page, and you can actually see your skin right over here. Alright, so now that we have done this, that's basically all for this video. So thank you very much for watching, and if you liked and actually got something out of this, I would greatly appreciate a like, and I would also hope that you subscribe for more future content like this. Because it's probably going to be changing, and I will be making new videos about it once it releases. So thank you very much, and bye bye.